Okay, so at the end of chapter 4, we have these vocabulary words. Let's read those. Ready? Repeat after me. Yashav. So this is he dwelt or sat. If you notice here that to use this verb yashav has embedded within it the subject being he. So you don't have to have a pronoun he in Hebrew. So if you've studied other languages like Spanish or French or German or Russian or Greek, you know that the verb can mark the subject without an overt or explicit pronoun. Nathan, so he gave is the most common way to translate this, but it could also mean he put or set something. So it could have a spatial, semantics of setting or putting something somewhere. If you've seen the name Nathan in English, that's a Hebrew name. And Nathaniel is built off of that root. Next we have Har. Everyone, Har? Har, so mountain or hill country. Har Megiddo. Did any of you see Har Megiddo in Israel? Okay, so Armageddon is a Grecicized way of saying that. Over here we have Chokmah. So what type of a symbol is this little kametz thing? If that's Chokmah, it's kametz katuv. Okay, it's a short O, Chokmah, and therefore the Sheva is silent. Chokmah, so wisdom. And wisdom is not just like skill in righteous living, but wisdom is also used just for skill in doing things, artistic. So Ross mentions the Exodus 36 passage where Bezalel and Aholiab are men who make skillful crafts and things for the sanctuary, for the tabernacle. Next we have Yom, so day. Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement. And Am is people or nation. People or nation. So you've read about how Hosea 9 refers to the Israelites as Lo Ami. Lo means not. The Kirik Yod at the end of Am is my people. So not my people. Not my people. So that's Am. Next we have preposition El, everyone. El, to or toward. And you will frequently, when you come to this word, you're going to actually see this little line right here. What is that called? Makef. Everybody, makef. Makef. And when you see El, makef, and then some object of the preposition, like to the bank, to the city, to the people, what do you know about the stress of the word El? It's not on that. It's not stressed. Anytime you have makef, the word in front of the makef loses or surrenders its stress to the next word. Who? Everyone, who? Who is he or it, but the noun that the it refers to is a masculine noun. I mentioned earlier, I think, that in Hebrew, we only have two genders for our nouns, masculine and feminine. So it's like Spanish that way. So if I want to refer to a person who's male, I'll use this word, who. But if I want to refer to a thing that's masculine gender but not inherently male, I'll use who as well. Okay? So the word for Har is mountain. And if I want to say it is there, I'm going to use who. Now, I'll go ahead and introduce you to this word. You can jot it down in your book. The word he, with a Kirik Yod and an Aleph, rather than the Shurik and the Aleph, is she or it, when the it refers to a feminine gender noun. So who is he, and he is she. Isn't that lovely? Who is he, and he is she. And to make it even more fun, we have this word me, which is not me in English, but it's the interrogative pronoun who. So who is he is she, me is who. And who is he is she, and me is who. So There you go. Fun, fun. All right. Let's answer any questions about the exercises that you might have here. So, did I have you do any transliteration here? Was it 1? Just number 2. Okay. So, any questions on the transliteration for number 2? What did you want to look at together?
I have a question. Mm-hmm. Just like whenever when we have like the short O vowel and we put like the
Katuf? Mm-hmm.
Would we only have to put the method whenever there's the silent shabbat next to it?
So if it's a kametz katuf, yeah, there's no method. So when it's the kametz, then yes, you should have a method. You should, because, and I should have mentioned this the other day, those 3 places where you frequently see the method, the second one, number 2, is the important one, because that's where it's necessary to disambiguate between one vowel and another. That's the only place that I'm a stickler about method being there. If you don't put it there when it should be in order to distinguish 2 vowels, then I yell at you. No, I don't really yell at you, but I jump up and down and scream. The other 2 places, if you don't put one down, I'm a bit more gracious about that, okay? But yeah, so just as an example, if we look at, well here, let's look at this one, the second one. How would we do that? We have, what's that consonant called that looks, that's an aleph. And then the O with no line over it is a short O, right? So that's the kametz katuf. Looks just like a kametz. And notice I'm going to have a zayin followed by another consonant. So what do I have to put under that nun, or that zayin here? I got to put the shava there. I made my nun here just a little bit too short. So I'm going to lengthen that a bit. So I got to put a shava, and that is a silent shava. Now, since it's silent, do I need to put a metheg here? No. Remember, the metheg means it's a long A. The no metheg means it's a short O. Okay, good. And then I have ne. This is a sere. It has the happy party hat, so this is not just sere, but sere yod, hey, and then segol is the short E. The mem is final. We got to use the boxy one. So oz, ne, hem. Okay? Good. So here, I want to know, is there a metheg or not? Because I gotta know to know whether that's a silent shava or not. What was the, did we have, is that in B or?
So like in the third word, how there's the long A at the end of the word?
Mm-hmm.
Would we have to put a metheg there?
No, you wouldn't. So the only time that the metheg is absolutely required or not required is when you have the kamet symbol followed by a shava. Because when I have that, looking to the right doesn't help me. So I don't know what kind of shava that is yet. So that's where looking to the left of the symbol tells me, yeah, that is, there's a metheg there or there's not. So that's a long A or not.
So we only use it when there's a shava.
If there's a shava to the left of the kamet symbol, there's got to be a metheg if it's long A.
But any other time, you don't have to.
Well, I mean, you should get used to where you should expect it. So the rule 1 and 3, you're going to see it a lot, but it's not necessary to know which vowel you're looking at, right? Like for example, if we go back to this, well, the word we saw was kohanim, okay? Priests in Hebrew. There's a metheg here because before compound shavas, I almost always see a metheg. Do I need that metheg to know that that's a long O? No. A holem is always a long O, so there's no ambiguity there. So the presence of it doesn't disambiguate anything for me. So you'd still pronounce it properly even if there were no metheg here. But with this one, you need to know that metheg's present or not to know which it is. Okay? Thank you for getting that. Okay, great. Anybody have any other questions about the transliteration? Is that all good? What about the transliterations here? And I think I just had you do number 2 here, right? Okay, no questions here. Let me just take a few minutes to drill some things with you, just to really highlight those areas of the lesson where we need to think about what we've learned. So if you can, with me for just a moment, look at this first word under number 1 in section B. The shava that you see here, is that silent or vocal? It's silent. I see a shava in the middle of the word. I always got to look to the right. And that's a kirik, which is long or short? Short, so the shava silent, right? So where would I make my dividing line? Always to the left of a silent shava. So this is mir, stop, and then the next syllable. Look at that symbol. Is that the long A, kametz, or the short O, kametz katuf? Long A. Now, in order to know, here, what's the most important question? Is it in a kus syllable? What's kus mean? Closed, unaccented syllables require a short vowel. So that's what I'm asking. Is this a closed, unaccented syllable? Is it closed? It is closed. Is it unaccented? No. The accent is always on the final or last syllable unless you have an accent mark somewhere else. So it's not a kus syllable. It didn't have to follow the kus rule. So this is a kametz, long A. So how would we say this? Mir yam. Say that. Mir yam. Miriam. What do you think that means? Miriam. Aaron's sister, Miriam. And Moses' sister too. Okay. Now look at this next word. What type of a shava is that? How do you know? Because it's at the beginning. Always vocal at the beginning. And then I have this ambiguous kametz katuf symbol. So what's the question I need to ask myself? Is it in a kus syllable? Is it in a closed unaccented syllable? Is this closed? Consonant, vowel, consonant. Yeah, if I have a consonant after the vowel at the end of a syllable, that's closed. Is it stressed or unstressed, or accented or unaccented? What is this symbol called again, right there? Makef. And when you see a makef, what does that tell you about the word right before the makef? It's not accented, which means that syllable, even though it looks like the final syllable here, it's not stressed. And so it is a kus syllable, isn't it? What does that tell you that this vowel has to be? It's got to be short. So, well, which of the two is short? The A or the O? When this is an O. Okay, so that's a kametz katuf. So how are we going to pronounce this? More. Which are those nice things you have when you're camping? Graham crackers, marshmallows, chocolate, s'mores. Okay. All right. So it's shemor, short O, shemor, what? Is it le? Li, exactly. Shemor li. Shemor li. I'm still holding my hands up like I've got my s'more here. So shemor li. Shemor li. Okay, good. Look at this one. I have the ambiguous symbol followed by the shava symbol. This asking, is it in a kus syllable, ain't going to help me. I don't know. Because I don't know if this is closed or not. So I've got to go to the other question, which is there a metheg, right? You always look to the left. You see it's ambiguous, so you look to the right. I'm sorry, look to the right. It's ambiguous. Look to the left. Is there a meth egg? Yes. So if the answer is no, it's a short O. See the O and no? Okay. If the answer is yes, then it's a long A. So this is a kametz. And if it's a long A, the shava is vocal. Right? Long vowels mean the shava is vocal. Where do I divide when I have a vocal shava? To the right. So it's cha and then k ma. Ha k ma. Say that with me. Ha kama. Ha kama. All right. Over here, this is a vocal shava. Oh, I have a sequence of kametz shava. That means I don't ask the cuss question, I ask the meth egg question. Is there a meth egg? When I look to the right, see it's ambiguous, look to the left of it. Is there a meth egg? No, so this is a kametz katuf, a short O. If that's a short O, this is a silent shava. And where do I divide? To the left. So it's kador. Say that with me. Kador. Kador. And then what type of a symbol is this? I don't have a shava here, so I don't have to ask the meth egg question. I just have to ask the cuss question. Is this a cuss syllable? No. It's open, isn't it? Consonant vowel. This consonant has its vowel. So this is an open syllable. So not a cuss syllable. So it's a kametz. So kador la. Say that. Kador la omer. Kador la omer. This is the name of one of those kings in Genesis that is involved in. I don't know if you remember when Abraham's nephew gets kidnapped, and then he has an alliance with some kings, and they go after these other kings. Well, this is one of the characters. All right, and then the last one. We have our ambiguous symbol followed by a shava. So which of the questions do I ask? Cuss or meth egg? Meth egg. And there is no meth egg. So this is a short O, kametz katuf. The shava is silent, and therefore I divide to the left. So this is or, not ar, or. And how do you pronounce that? Pa, orpa, orpa. Do you know who Orpah is? In Ruth, that's right. Ruth's sister-in-law. I have heard that Oprah's name was a misspelling or mispronunciation of Orpah. I don't know if that's true or not, but has anybody ever met an Oprah besides Oprah Winfrey? I haven't, so it does make me wonder. Okay, there you go. So Orpah, Orpah. Excellent. Okay, good. Anybody have any questions about line 2 as far as understanding the shavas, the kametz symbols, and how to label them or how to divide anything? Okay. Then let's look at the translations here. So, any questions on the translations? Yes. Yeah. Oh, here? That's a great question. No, it's not. So, well, actually, I don't know 100% if the name itself had like a preposition kaf attached to it. I sort of think it didn't. But when you see this is actually, the whole thing is a proper noun. It's somebody's name. So when you see it in the English Bible, it'll be Kerala Omer, and it'll be spelled with a CH. Ke. Yeah. All right. Let's see if you have any questions about this. We have our new verbs in all of these, so that's good. Any questions here? Go ahead. Ah, good. When do you add the word a to your translation? If you come to a noun, you can go ahead, if it's a singular noun, add the word a to it because the noun is not definite the way it just stands as a noun. What we're going to learn in chapter 5 is that there is a definite article in Hebrew, and it's the way you say the, whatever the noun is, and it's adding the word ha in front. So if you see the ha, you can say the such and such, and if you don't, then you could say a such and such, if that makes good sense. For number 1, then, we have Yashav b'vayit. There, bayit, that has no article because you don't know it yet, and it's not here. So that's, he lived in a house, right? But notice you have the bet preposition attached to shalom, which also has no article, but you wouldn't say in the piece. Or sorry, in a piece. Okay? Because peace is an abstract noun, so you wouldn't put an indefinite article in English in front of it. Whereas bayit is a concrete noun, and in English, you could put an indefinite article in front of that. Okay? So neither of these have an article, but that doesn't mean you have to use a in front of the word. Okay? So, any other questions? All right. You're sure? This is the time to ask. If I could just direct your attention to number 3, say this with me. Repeat after me. Nathan Elohim, Shalom la'adam. Okay. So what does Nathan mean? Okay. So our translation gloss and our vocabulary says he gave. When do I use the pronoun he? When there's no explicit subject. Is there an explicit subject here? Yes. Elohim comes right after the verb. So here's one of the things you're going to see frequently in Hebrew is that the verb will often come first in the sentence and the subject will often come immediately after it. So Nathan Elohim is not he gave Elohim, but rather Elohim gave or God gave. All right? And then shalom is the direct object. It's what Elohim gave. Elohim gave, what's shalom? Peace. And then l'adam means to man or Adam or mankind, depending on the context. And you don't know because this is just an isolated sentence. But let me ask you to look at this little vertical stroke. Oops, I just covered it up, didn't I? Look at that vertical stroke under the dalet next to the kametz. Is that a metheg or not? What's that? That's a saluk. That's an accent mark. Where's the stress on this word? L'adam. Is it on the final syllable? And so is that little vertical doohickey? That's a technical word, doohickey. Is that little vertical stroke on the stress syllable? Yes. So it has to be the accent mark, saluk, not the methag, which is always where in relation to the stress. It's always somewhere before. The methag is always somewhere before the stressed syllable, telling you do not reduce that vowel to get to the stressed syllable. Okay? It's like putting flashing neon lights on something. Yo, pronounce me fully. Or it's like putting bling on something. Okay? That methag is like bling. All right. Very good.